Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a really fundamental shift in how we work. We're talking about how artificial intelligence is becoming less of a simple tool and more of a true partner in analysis. We're going to see this in action with a fascinating case study in real estate. Let's get right into it.
So let me start with a question that I think is going to hit home for a lot of you, no matter what your job is. Do you ever feel like you're spending way more time on the boring stuff, the reports, the paperwork, the formatting, than you are on the actual analysis, the thinking part? It's a huge pain point for so many people, and it's right at the heart of the story we're telling today.
And this quote, it just nails the central problem, doesn't it? In any skilled profession, I'm talking finance, law, real estate, you name it, your expertise is what people pay for, but your time, that's the one you can't get more of. Every single hour you spend on those low-level tasks is an hour you're not spending on actual strategy. It's a constant, relentless race against the clock.
Okay, so first, let's set the scene. Let's look at the before picture. We're about to see what the day-to-day looks like for tons of experts, and honestly, it's a profession that is just drowning in paperwork.
I mean, just think about it. You're digging through these super dense documents. You're manually pulling out numbers from all these different places. You're plugging them into some generic template, and then you're triple-checking all your math. The source material for this explainer, it describes this feeling of just being completely overwhelmed, totally bogged down. It's a process that ends up smothering the very expertise it's supposed to be showing off.
And this timeline, wow, it really lays out the problem perfectly. Day one is just finding and gathering the data. You don't even get to the real thinking until day two. And then, believe it or not, all of day three is just spent writing and formatting the report. A single project can eat up most of your week, pulling you away from the work that actually matters. It's just so inefficient. You can see why people were desperate for a better way.
And of course, there is a better way. This is our big turning point. We're shifting gears now, moving away from the problem and right into the solution. A brand new kind of collaborator that completely changes how this work gets done.
Now, the way this is framed is so important. Notice it's not just called software or a program. It's called an analytical partner. And that's the key idea here. The tech isn't trying to replace the expert. It's designed to work right alongside them, blending that crucial human judgment with the incredible processing power of AI.
So what does this new partnership actually promise? Well, it comes down to three huge things. First, unbelievable speed. Second, a totally new level of analytical depth. And third, a rock-solid, high standard of professionalism in every single thing it produces. These are really the three pillars of this whole new approach.
So how does this actually work, in the real world? This is where everything flips. I want you to forget about filling out endless, rigid forms. We're talking about a totally new way of interacting, a dynamic, back-and-forth dialogue with the technology itself.
The new process is so much more intuitive. First, you just give the AI the context, the details about the property. Then you just start asking it questions, real complex questions, just like you would with a human colleague. And then, boom, you instantly get back these structured, expert-level insights to work with.
And that quote right there, that captures the magic of this new workflow. All the friction is just gone. No more jumping between 5 different programs, a calculator, a word processor. Deep, meaningful analysis is now just a question away, and it all happens in one seamless place.
So we've already streamlined the whole process. It's faster, it's smarter. But the next step, well, this is where you see the true power of this human-AI partnership. This is where a process that used to take days gets transformed into something else. This line from the source material, it's pretty dramatic because it signals we've arrived at the big moment. What comes next? Well, this is what really changes the entire game.
So after that conversation, the AI has all the context it needs to run these incredibly deep strategic analyses instantly. It can whip up a SWOT analysis, looking at a property's strengths and weaknesses versus the market's opportunities and threats. It can run a PEST analysis to see how bigger things, like political or economic trends, might play a role. It can even build out financial models like the income approach, projecting earnings based on net operating income, or NOI, and the cap rate. And this isn't just a jumble of data. It's true strategic thinking.
Okay, so you've got all of that, all this deep analysis, the SWOT, the PESTs, the financials. Now,
how long do you think it takes to get all of that into a perfectly formatted client-ready report? The answer is one click. Just one. That 3-day timeline we saw earlier, it's now compressed into a matter of seconds. It's incredible.
Now, this is obviously way bigger than just one job or one piece of software. What we're really seeing here is a sneak peek into the future of work itself and what it even means to be an expert in the age of AI.
And what's so important to understand is that this isn't about replacing people. It's about reallocating their time. The new division of labor is crystal clear. The AI partner crushes the data crunching, the high-speed math, and the document creation. And that frees up the human expert to focus 100% on what they do best. High-level strategic oversight, making those tough judgment calls, and of course, building relationships with clients.
And this quote really gets to the very heart of the philosophy here. The goal of this kind of tech isn't to make the expert smaller, it's to amplify them. It really acts like an extension of your own brain, handling all the tedious stuff so that your core skills can make a much, much bigger impact.
So that leaves us with one final big question to think about. We've seen how this totally transforms real estate, but what about law, finance, consulting, scientific research? What other professions are sitting there just waiting for their own one-click revolution? What happens when every single expert on the planet is amplified like this? It's a pretty wild future to think about. Thanks for joining me on this explainer.